Hello everyone! Welcome to another Let's Play. My name is Anna Mardal. This is The Crown and the Flame, Book 1. And we're in Chapter 17. We're barreling towards an exciting conclusion. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. I'm so excited that my pronunciations are all over the place. And that's just how it's going to be. Chapter 17. Kenna faces Prince Marco in a final duel for Stormhold, while Dominic goes after Bartel. Let's do this! There's going to be a lot of fighting. Chapter 17, The Return of the Queen. Alright, here we go. You and Say race after Bartel as he attempts to flee from Stormhold. Stop right there. Bartel ducks past a group of Navrakis soldiers. One of the soldiers looks at you and laughs. Ready to go back to your cage? Get out of our way. I've got a better idea. Why don't you die? The soldiers rush at you. Let me handle this. Say holds up her hands and fire crackles across her palms. You don't scare me, witch. Witch? I'm not a witch. You don't have a word for what I am. The fire swells in Say's hands, becoming a massive fireball. Burn! Say hurls the enormous fireball straight at the first soldier. I'll take care of them. Go after Bartel. Don't let him escape, Lowlander. I won't. You run as fast as you can after Bartel and spot him doubling back to enter the castle. Bartel darts into the kitchen and knocks over a barrel, throwing it into your path. Jump. You leap over the barrel. It'll take more than that to stop me. You follow Bartel out of the kitchens and across the grounds. Bartel darts into the stable and you hear him bar the door behind him. We have an axe. You swing your axe at the door, splintering the wood just as Bartel comes racing out of the stables on a horse. No! The horse rears. Slash at Bartel. Your axe sinks into Bartel's leg. He rolls off the rearing horse. You're mine, Bartel. I don't know what dark sorcery you wield, but it won't save you now. Bartel pulls out a pair of daggers. You're the one who needs saving. You grip your axe tightly, willing the fire flowing in your veins to ignite. I need to feed the fire inside me with anger, but I can't take it too far or I'll lose control. Think of Rose. You remember the fear in Rose's eyes as Bartel threatened to kill her. Tiny blue flames flicker across the backs of your hands. You will never touch Rose again. You think of your hawk. You remember Bartel's sadistic smirk as he crushed your friend beneath his boot. The flames leap higher, feeding on your rage. You've taken too much from me, you bastard. No more. Think of Tristan refusing to meet your eyes as you're dragged down to the dungeon. You start to sweat, your blood seeming to boil beneath your skin. Flames run down the handle of your axe, dancing along the blade. No more. It ends here. It ends now. Bartel's daggers fall from his trembling hands. No. The amulet the monk gave you burns hot against your skin. What the? So we can either think of Luther or attack Bartel. And I think the amulet's a warning that we've hit our limit. We need to stop now. Attack with the axe, which is covered in flames. Now you'll pay for what you've done. How is this possible? You swing the flaming axe, burying it deep in Bartel's heart, and release your anger. The flames surge outward from the wound, wrapping Bartel in a cloak of blue-white fire. The fire flares and Bartel's screams stop. Bartel falls to the ground, dead. His smoking remains quickly turn to ash and scatter in the wind. You collapse against the castle wall, all your strength burned away. It's finally done. That monster will never hurt anyone again. I won't let Marco get away with this. Still reeling from Gabriel's death, you sprint off to search for Marco, leaving Whitlock behind to unbar the doors and let your army inside. You find Marco in the throne room with nowhere left to run. I'm not afraid of you. Marco, this is for Gabriel. Who? He was the bravest man I've ever known, and my true friend, and your lackey killed him. If he's dead, it's because of your foolish rebellion. Marco raises his sword and lunges at you. What do? Block. You block Marco's attack. You're faster than I expected. I'm full of surprises. You sweep your glaive into the air, pointing it skyward. It catches the light from the window, and for one moment the throne room is alight in dazzling rays. My God. Marco freezes for just a moment, awestruck by the dazzling weapon, and you charge. A clean swing bats Marco's weapon aside, and you thrust with the blade, scoring a glancing cut into Marco's shoulder. Ah! Marco staggers. You pull your blade back, settling into a strong stance, the glaive glittering before you. I will have justice. Marco scoffs, and a smug expression spreads across his face. We've danced this waltz before, and we know it ends in your defeat. But by all means, let us try again. He bows into an inviting stance, lowering the tip of his blade to the floor, tapping it rhythmically. I'll even keep the count for you. You step forward, weapon raised, feigning an attack, and Marco takes the bait. He swings the sword up to parry an attack that never comes, leaving him open. You pivot, lunge forward, and your attack slips past his guard. Marco steps back, his eyes still locked on you. Nearby, a glass goblet sits on top of a small table. With a devious grin, he flings the glass in your direction. Thirsty? Dodge. You dodge low, deftly evading the glass as it sails overhead and smashes into a distant wall behind you. Not thirsty. Marco closes the distance between you with a fencer's stride. In an instant, he is upon you with a slashing blow. Here! You block just in time. Metal rings against metal as your weapons clash. You push against each other, your weapons locked and grinding. Roll backward and kick him. You roll onto your back, pulling him with you as you plant your boots in his stomach. Pushing hard with both feet, you flip him over you. Marco lands hard, tumbling across the smooth marble floor. You find your footing, squaring off with Marco. This ends now. Marco sprints toward you with a deadly slash aimed at your heart. You gather your strength and parry his blade just in time. Yes, this ends now. With your weapons crossed, Marco pushes close and grabs your throat. I admit, you're not bad for a princess. You swing your knee up into his groin with all the force you can muster. You both fall to the ground as Marco releases his grip and crumples in pain. I'm not a princess anymore. I'm the Queen of Stormholt. You will pay for that with your life. Marco takes up his sword with a white-knuckled grip. Where once there was cold cruelty in his eyes, there is only murderous rage. Die! He rushes you, sword raised skyward. You swing your weapon as his blade slashes down. I've got to disarm him. Strike his hand. You bring your glaive up in a brilliant flash of gold. The massive blade smashes into Marco's hilt, knocking it from his grip with a dazzling blow. No! You point your blade to Marco's throat, forcing him back until he stumbles onto the floor. Your rule here is over. Oh, are you really going to kill me? You? Wait! You turn to see a breathless Whitlock burst into the throne room, Leon following close behind him. We might be able to use him. No good will come of sparing a man like that. You'll only give him time to plot and turn men against you. We need to end him. 2 years ago, I watched as your men killed my mother in this very room. My mother, who raised me, who watched me for a dozen sleepless nights when the red flu nearly took me in my youth. My mother, who loved me and wanted nothing for this kingdom but peace. She was weak. She ended her life as all weak people do, at the hands of someone stronger. Maybe you're right, but I'm the stronger one today. Do it if you dare. So I'm not going to spare him, no, and it's not just because I don't like him, although that's part of it, and it's not just because he threatened Annalise, although that's part of it too, but I feel like this entire plot line has shown that it's a bad idea to leave displaced royalty alive to rally armies and escape and things. So, I hereby sentence you to death. You raise your weapon high. Wait, I'm too valuable to simply execute. You must know that. My father will negotiate. It's like your father said in this very room. He's not the type to negotiate. He said this kingdom needed one ruler. He was right. But it's not going to be him. It's going to be me. You rule this kingdom. Don't make me laugh. Your motley crew of soldiers may have won the day, but in one clean stroke, you smite Marco's head from his body. It rolls to the floor, his face frozen in an expression of disbelief. Sorry, but I couldn't take another second of hearing him speak. Marco's body crumples to the ground, a pool of blood soaking the floor of the throne room. Your weapon feels heavy in your hand. You slowly lower it. That was the right move. I think I'm going to be sick. With Marco's head in hand, you walk outside and address the few remaining soldiers still battling outside. See what happens to tyrants! Marco is defeated. This battle is over. Seeing you, the remaining Navrakis soldiers begin to surrender. The day is lost. I surrender. As the Navraki soldier surrender, a cheer goes up from the battlefield. Well, look at that! We actually pulled it off! The day is ours. Marco's rule has ended. 3 cheers for Queen Kenna. Huzzah! 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 The Queen of Stormhold. Long may she reign. As the cheering continues, you return inside. We did it! We won! We won. Thanks to Gabriel's sacrifice. I knew Gabriel for years. He watched you grow from a baby. It was his sworn duty to protect you until his dying breath. What he did today, he did because he knew it was worth it. He'd be proud of you, Kenna. Listen to them cheer your name outside. You did it. Stormhold is yours again at last. No, we did it. Stormhold is ours again. And this is just the beginning. Instead of allowing Prince Marco to live, you chose to minimize the risks and take his head in retribution for taking your kingdom. You have won the Battle of Stormhold and have taken back your kingdom. Congratulations! Look at all that! 445 out of 445. Okay, so that was chapter 17. We've got one more chapter left in this book, and then we will have done the whole book, and then we'll have another book to do. So yay! That was exciting. This has been The Crown and the Flame, Book 1, Chapter 17, in the Choices app in the Android and Apple stores. My name is Anna Mardal, and thank you so much for coming along with me. I hope you're having a good winter and happy holidays, and hopefully none of you have had, holiday guests turn on you, bring up soldiers through your basement, and kill any of your parents, because that's obviously a pretty sucky way to spend the holidays. So hopefully that didn't happen. I'm silly because it's getting late. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.